So that was super annoying. I just spent an hour draining a whole bunch of water out of the track bikes and filling them with coolant. And why the hell did I do this? Well, something Jonathan at Passion Built is never going to tell you because he's in Florida and it doesn't get cold there. So in the SVs, and I'm assuming GSXRs, and I'm sure the R6S doesn't like that too much either, in the head, there are these plugs. You can kind of see them in this hole. And then there's another one over there. They're called freeze plugs, and they separate coolant from oil. They're just part of the machining process. So when they make the head, they cut the passages, and then they press these plugs in. Well, what happens with track bikes that have to run engine ice, water, or water with water wetter, or whatever, when the coolant, in their case water, freezes, it has to go somewhere. Water expands when it freezes. And guess what happens? It pushes out those freeze plugs, which means that when you start the motor, you're going to shoot coolant into the oil, or you're going to get oil and coolant. But in any case, it basically has the same symptoms as a very badly blown head gasket. So every winter, hopefully before it starts getting too cold where it's constantly freezing, I have to go and drain all the water out of all the bikes that run water and replace it with some garbage coolant. It really doesn't matter what it is, as long as it's antifreeze. Because I'm not going to run these bikes with it in there. I'm just going to try to keep them from cracking a block or popping freeze plugs. And then I go around all the bikes and I give them a nice sticker to remind myself that it has antifreeze. So in the spring, I have to go and unscrew that up. So the freeze plugs, they're not a hard job. Once they're popped, they're pressed in there. Spears sells them. Dealers sell them maybe. Somebody somewhere had a Fastenal part number, but they're not a hard job. But why do this? Why have to spend time tearing into your head when it takes 5 minutes to swap to coolant and then 5 minutes to swap back to water in the spring? So yeah, don't pop your freeze plugs. Swap out the coolant on your track bike if you live somewhere where the bike's going to be frozen for a while.